Okay, let's start. NCRT 11, Chapter 2, Biological Classification. The most important chapter in the form of that NEET will have the representation around the 6 to 7 questions we are going to get frequently here. The minimum is 5. That means 20 to 30 marks we are going to get from here in this chapter, Biological Classification. Let's start reading the chapter, the Biological Classification. Then it includes Kingdom Monida, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia, and along with that, viruses, viroids, and lichens, lichens are given here. Then let's start the chapter reading. That since the dawn of civilization, that there have been many attempts to classify the living organisms. It was done instinctively, not using criteria that were scientific, but born out of a need to use organisms for our own use, for shelter, for food, and for clothing. Likewise, Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. So, where is the necessary? I do underline there. You just focus. Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. He used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees, shrubs, and herbs. He used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees, shrubs, and herbs. He also divided the animals into two groups, those which have red blood and those that did not. Those which had red blood and those that did not. So this is the story of Aristotle. So from this paragraph, we need to learn the story of Aristotle. Aristotle was the earliest to attempt that more scientific basis for classification. He classified the plants and based on the morphological character, simple morphological character, and he classified into trees, shrubs, and herbs. And he also divided animals into two groups, which has red blood, which don't have red blood, with red blood, without red blood. Next, we'll move to the Linnaeus. In Linnaeus' time, a two-kingdom system of classification, which the Plantae and Animalia kingdoms was developed that included all plants and animals respectively. Let's come to this. In Linnaeus' time, a two-kingdom system of classification with Plantae and Animalia kingdoms was developed that included all plants in kingdom Plantae and all animals in kingdom Animalia here. This system was used till very recently, but this system did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. According to two kingdom classification, we can't distinguish the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then we can't distinguish unicellular and multicellular organisms. And we can't distinguish photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms. These are all the problems with two kingdom classification. What we can't distinguish, we can't show the difference between the prokaryote and eukaryote, unicellular and multicellular, the photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic, likewise. The classification of organisms into plants and animals was easily done and was easy to understand, but a large number of organisms did not fall into either category, any of the category. They are not coming to join. That hence the two kingdom classification used for a long time was found inadequate. That means in the plantain animalia, some of them are not fixing that either you can't join them in plantae or you can't join them in animalia. Okay. Then a need was also felt for including, besides grass morphology, that other characteristics like cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat. So other we are taken into consideration: cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, methods of reproduction, evolutionary relationships. Okay, so this paragraph, these lines are very important. A need was also felt, including, besides grass morphology, the other characteristic. That means that this was done by grass morphology. So other characteristic like cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, methods of reproduction, and evolutionary relationships. Classification systems for the living organisms have hence undergone several changes over time. Though plant and animal kingdoms have been a constant under all different systems, the understanding of what groups or organisms be included under these kingdoms have been changing. The number and nature of other kingdoms have also been understood differently by different scientists over time. So characteristics of the five kingdoms that we have five kingdoms here, that kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. The five kingdoms, Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Okay, so in them, as we said there, the cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, mode of nutrition, these things to be considered. When it comes to the cell type, in Kingdom Monera, prokaryotic condition is seen over. Kingdom Monera is with prokaryotic condition. That means the nuclear membrane is absent. That bacteria mostly, that they don't have nuclear membrane. Nuclear material is there, but there is no nuclear membrane. In case of eukaryote, nuclear material is present and that will be surrounded by the nuclear envelope. That means prokaryotic, that means without nuclear membrane. Eukaryotic with nuclear membrane. That's the difference. Among these characteristic features, the kingdom Monera is prokaryotic, but the remaining all, the four kingdoms, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia, are considered as eukaryotic. Okay, then cell wall. About the cell wall, in case of Monera, non-cellulosic or polysaccharide material plus amino acid, we can see in kingdom Monera. Then kingdom Protista, some of them are having cell walls. Then in fungi present without cellulose. In case of Plantae, cell wall is present. Animalia, there is no cell wall. No cell wall in case of Animalia. So let us see the cell wall issue once again. The kingdom Monera, non-cellulosic polysaccharide plus amino acid. Then Protista, in present in some. In fungi, present without cellulose. Then Plantae, present with cellulose. Then in case of Animalia, the cell wall is absent. That in the same way, we need to see the nuclear membrane. That means prokaryotic condition. Nuclear membrane is absent in that Monera and present eukaryotic condition in case of Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Okay. Next, about the body organization, we need to go. Body organization in case kingdom Monera, cellular. Protista, cellular. That means these two are single cell. Prokaryotic cellular, eukaryotic cellular. Okay, then in five kingdom, that fungi, multicellular with loose tissue. The Plantae, tissue and organ. And Animalia, tissue, organ or organ system will find. Then mode of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition will find in kingdom Monera. The chemosynthetic and photosynthetic and heterotroph. Some of them are heterotroph, like saprophytic or parasitic plants you can see. Then in case of Protista, autotrophic, photosynthetic some of them, and also you can see heterotrophic. Then in fungi, heterotrophic, in that mostly saprophytic. The details will come next, saprophytic or parasitic we can see. Then Plantae, autotrophic, exclusive. Then Animalia, heterotrophic, holozoic or saprophytic nature. So these are all the mode of nutrition. So there's a brief information of the five kingdoms is given. And let's move with the five kingdoms. R.H. Whittaker, 1969, that another scientist to be remembered, R.H. Whittaker, 1969 proposed a five kingdom classification. The kingdoms defined by him were named Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. The main criteria for classification used by him include Cell structure include cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationships. R.H. Whittaker proposed a five-kingdom classification. The kingdoms defined by him were named as Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. The main criteria for classification used by him include cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationships. Okay, the table 2.1, which we read now, that gives a comparative account of the different characteristics of five kingdoms. Okay, then let us look at this five kingdom classification to understand the issues and the consideration that influenced the classification system. That earlier classification system included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms under plants. The character that unified this whole kingdom was that all organisms included had a cell wall in their cells. This placed together groups which widely differed in other characteristics. It brought together the prokaryotic bacteria and the blue-green algae with other groups which were eukaryotic. It also grouped together the unicellular organisms and multicellular ones. Say, for example, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra were placed together under algae. The classification did not differentiate between the heterotrophic group fungi and autotrophic green plants. Though they also showed a characteristic difference in their walls composition, the fungi had chitin in their walls, and while the green plants had the cellulosic material. The green plants had cellulosic cell wall. When such characteristics were considered, the fungi were placed in a separate kingdom called kingdom fungi. All prokaryotic organisms were grouped together under kingdom Monera, and unicellular eukaryotic organisms are placed under kingdom Protista. The kingdom Protista has brought together Chlamydomonas and Chlorella, which are earlier placed in algae within plants, both having cell walls. Then with Paramecium and amoeba, kingdom Protista has brought together Chlamydomonas and Chlorella with Paramecium and amoeba, which actually the Paramecium and amoeba were earlier placed in the animal kingdom which lack cell wall. It has put together organisms which in earlier classifications were placed in different kingdoms. This happened because the criteria for classification has changed. This kind of changes will take place in future too, depending on the improvement in our understanding of characteristics and evolutionary relationships. Over time, an attempt has been made to evolve a classification system which reflects not only the morphological and physiological and reproductive similarities, but is also phylogenetic, that is, based on evolutionary relationships. In this chapter, we will study characteristics of kingdom Monera, Protista, and fungi on the Whittaker system of classification. The kingdoms Plantae and Animalia, commonly referred to as plant and animal kingdoms, will be dealt with separately in the chapter 3 and 4. Now we move with kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera. This is the introduction portion of the biological classification that in part 2 will go with the kingdom Monera.